Take a look.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes, and I'm back at you with your WWE Bad Blood review. And this is the first Bad Blood pay-per-view premium live event we've had in quite a while. And I gotta say, man, it lived up to its name, Bad Blood. Blood as in blood coming out of your head, blood as in the bloodline. You had returns and all types of returns. We'll talk about it in this video. Bad Blood came to us from Atlanta, Georgia, home of Metro Boomin, home of Lil Yachty, home of Quavo, home of Bill Goldberg. That's right, Bill Goldberg was actually featured on tonight's show. You had Triple H come out and he made a historic announcement. And the announcement was that at Crown Jewel, from this pay-per-view going on forward into the foreseeable future, you will see champion versus champion matches for both the men and the women. World Heavyweight and the WWE champion will wrestle, and the women's champion and the women's world champion will wrestle. And the winner of those matches will receive a Crown Jewel belt. And speaking of World Heavyweight Champion, he had the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Gunther, come out, and he talked about how you couldn't have the show without Gunther, and he even noticed that his alleged favorite wrestler, Bill Goldberg, was in the building. He even talked to Bill Goldberg, and he said that when he told Bret Hart that Bill Goldberg was his childhood hero, he was lying, he was capping, because, you know, Goldberg kind of sucks. Like, he was really going in on Goldberg. He even talked to Goldberg's son, and he said that he hopes that Goldberg is a better father than he was a wrestler. And at this point, Goldberg had heard enough. He had heard so much that he couldn't hear no more, and he was about to get into it with Gunther. And as security was trying to separate Gunther from Goldberg, Sami Zayn comes up. He pulls up and he attacks Gunther because they're having a match this Monday on Monday Night Raw for that World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that was the big announcement. Yeah, Crown Jewel champion versus champion matches. So more than likely it's gonna be Big Gunther taking on Cody Rhodes in Saudi Arabia, and we'll get into the women's match in a little bit. But as far as the opening contest, it was inside Hell in a Cell, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and there was a big debate going on online as far as who should main event, whether it should be the Hell in a Cell match or it should be the Bloodline match. Now that we've seen the whole entire show play out, I think we see why each match was placed where it was. But as far as this opening match goes, like I said, it lived up to the name Bad Blood, because both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre were bleeding. And I'm not talking about that maybe it's painted on blood, maybe it's fake blood. No, it was coming straight out of the craniums, straight out of the dome pieces. Both men were bleeding. There were wrenches and tables and beads. Bracelet beads were involved and whatnot. Steel steps. I felt for both of these men's backs, because there were several spots where Drew McIntyre was landing into the steel steps back first. There were table spots. All types of shenanigans going on, man. It made my scoliosis flare up a little bit. I'm like, yo, you're making my back hurt. Chill out. But this was a really good match, man. It definitely lived up to the hype. It definitely lived up to the build. And I've heard in interviews from both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre that they really wanted to restore that feeling of Hell in a Cell, as far as it not just being a match on a PLE, but being that match that ends feuds, that match that culminates the beef, you know what I'm saying? And they definitely did a great job. It was looking like Drew McIntyre was gonna win, but the power of hatred was too great. CM Punk was more of a hater than Drew McIntyre was. He was able to stay focused more, and he ended up winning the match. And like I said, what a match this was. They had EMTs out there helping both men. Drew McIntyre looking like a sad puppy. CM Punk taking a page out of the MJF playbook and having oxygen. But yeah, man, CM Punk ended up winning the match, ending the feud. So I'm really intrigued to see where each man goes from this point, because you know, a good chunk of the year has been consumed with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. So now we get to see them feud with other people. Maybe CM Punk feuds with Seth Rollins. Maybe Drew McIntyre goes after the World Heavyweight Championship, or maybe CM Punk goes after the Gunther. Who knows? We just gotta wait and see. But great match, man. Great opener. And quite an unfortunate bit of business was who had to follow that match. And the two women that had that daunting task of following that Hell in a Cell match was Bayley and Nia Jax. And it was kind of funny because before the match you had Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca, who were the hosts of Bad Blood. They were having a little party in one of the suites in the arena, and they were giving their predictions for the match. And when it was time for Bianca's time to return to pick, she was like, I'm just, rooting for a good match, go Bayley, But you could tell she was not feeling that at all, because she still has beef with Bayley, but she's trying to be supportive because she knows that Naomi and Bayley are friends, but that's building towards something. Now, as far as this match goes between Bayley and Nia Jax, the match they had, I think at SummerSlam, was better. Not saying that this match was bad, but unfortunately, they're human beings and they make human being mistakes. There were a couple botches that, people noticed and were trying to dogpile on the match. And me personally, if you take the botches out, the match was still fine, but they were quite noticeable. There was a point where Tiffany Stratton came out and they were saying, oh, she's coming out to show support, but why do you have your music playing as you're running out to the ring? And it didn't look like she was cashing in. It looked like she really was trying to help Nia Jax, because she started beating up Bayley with the briefcase. The referee was taken out of the picture at this point. And the referee is getting up. She's getting to her feet. She sees the briefcase on the floor. She hands it to Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax sits up like the Undertaker, and she sees this, and she thinks that, Tiffany Stratton was about to cash in. And honestly, that wasn't the case. And at this point, I was thinking maybe Bayley can win with a distraction, but she did not. Nia Jax ended up getting the win. 1, 2, 3, and still your WWE Women's Champion. So we go from that match. I'm gonna skip ahead to the WWE Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, with Dominik Mysterio suspended high above the ring in a shark cage. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I fell asleep during the match, right? I woke up and I see Dominik Mysterio in the cage, and he tumbles out, and he's hanging upside down from the cage, and like his knee, I don't know, I'm assuming this was supposed to happen, but it looked kind of rough because he's hanging from his leg. And I'm like, yo, can y'all get this man down, because I don't want him to like injure his knee or his leg or whatever. But I'm assuming this was a part of the match, because Rhea Ripley looks at the referee and she says, I'm going to finish off Liv, but I got some unfinished business I got to take care of. And the referee was kind of cool. He was like, understandable. So Rhea Ripley goes out to the ring, gets out of the ring, and starts hitting Dominik like he's a piñata. And as she's hitting him with the kendo stick, Raquel Rodriguez shows up and she attacks Rhea Ripley. The match ended in a disqualification, so that means the feud has to continue, right? I was hoping it would end, but that really wasn't the case. We get more of the love triangle, which is now a love square, I guess. So I guess this means Rhea Ripley has to find a female friend that isn't Damian Priest. So yeah. Speaking of Damian Priest, we had the big grudge match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Now, the match itself was fine, but the build kind of sucked, because this was supposed to be the big blood feud, the big feud between two former tag team partners, two former tag team champions, two former friends in the Judgment Day. They were closer than brothers. And ever since Finn Balor turned heel, you didn't really feel that animosity. I mean, you would have the Judgment Day attack Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, but outside of that, the build really felt weak. And there were a couple weeks where you didn't see Finn Balor, and that hurt the feud even more. As far as the match goes, it was a good match. It was really good. Their NXT match that they had years ago was better in my opinion, but this was still a fine match, and it went exactly how you thought it was going to, with Judgment Day coming out and running interference, that type deal. And to my surprise, I was actually picking Finn Balor to win because I feel like he needs a big win. Even though they don't have leaders, you can tell Finn Balor is the leader of the Judgment Day. He needed a big win, and the win went to Damian Priest. He won with the South of Heaven chokeslam, 1, 2, 3. So, I don't know where this goes from here. I don't know if this feud continues. I kind of hope not, but it is looking like it is going to continue. So, yeah. So now we go to the actual main event, the true main event, the Bloodline taking on the team of Cody Rhodes and the OTC, the original tribal chief, the only tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And you had Solo and Jacob Fatu come out first. Somebody on Twitter said that you can't really tell if Solo is angry or confused, and I'm like, that's pretty accurate. That was a pretty accurate description of Solo Sikoa. So you have Cody Rhodes come out first, and he had an HBCU marching band. I forget which college this band came from, but this band did go viral for playing Cody Rhodes' theme. So it was pretty cool for Cody to bring them out so they could be a part of his entrance. So you have Cody make his entrance with the band, and then you have Roman Reigns come out with his special entrance with his own band. It's not a marching band, but it's a orchestral type band, and they're that type deal. And Roman Reigns came out. He looked to be in great shape. This was the first match he's wrestled since WrestleMania, and you could tell he's been in the gym working out. Like, he leaned up a little bit, but he's still like the OCC. Like, he looks like he's in great shape from the tribal chief. And as far as the match goes, man, it is what it is. It's bloodlines. It's a bloodline type match. So you got a lot of trash talking, throwing up the ones. But then you have the added feature of Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes, he's doing his thing. He's doing the bionic elbow. He's trying to hold it down. But the MVP in this match to me was none other than Jacob Fatu. I love you, Solo. My God, Jacob. And he's doing his thing, man. He took like a crossroads to the outside. He no-sold that joint. It got to the point where Cody Rhodes had to put him through the announce table. Like, he did a diving crossbody through the announce table to take out Jacob Fatu. The crowd was letting Solo know how much he sucked. They were really into the tribal chief, so it was a really fun match, man. I really had a lot of fun with this match. So we get to the end where Cody took out Jacob. It's coming down to Roman and Solo, and of course, you have Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, and the true goal to this story, Tonga Loa, pull up, and they're trying to cause shenanigans. They're trying to cause distraction, but then this is how Michael Cole described this. There was some dude in a hoodie and a bandana, and I'm like, that's gotta be Jimmy. I've been waiting for Jimmy Uso to return for the longest time, and we finally got the return, man. I was so excited, my head started hurting. I couldn't deal with the mana, wink wink nudge nudge, and the family shenanigans, the cinema. My head started hurting with the aura. Jimmy Uso super kicked both the Gorillas of Destiny. Roman Reigns hits the spear, ooh, wow, on Solo Sikoa, 1, 2, 3. To my surprise, Roman and Cody actually won the match. Originally, I was thinking that it would be the Bloodline that got the win, and it would be Jacob Fatu that ended up pinning Cody Rhodes, but that wasn't the case. The Bloodline takes a loss. Solo gets pinned again. we got to start having a conversation about Solo. But then after the match, you know, you see Roman and Jimmy in the ring for the first time since WrestleMania, and they actually hug. And it was a heartwarming moment, you know, they hug, and Jimmy is all excited and whatnot. And I'm excited too, because I'm like, we're one step closer to seeing the Usos come back together. I'm here for it. I can't wait. But then after all that happens, you have the Bloodline attacking Cody as Jimmy and Roman are walking away. They're looking at Cody, and Jimmy's like, "Yo, man, you gave Cody your word," and Roman was like, "This was a one-time deal, but we're good guys now, so I guess we gotta do the right thing." So Roman and Jimmy run back to the ring and beat up the Bloodline. They clear house. They save Cody's ass. Then there was a moment between Roman and Cody where Roman picks up the Universal Championship and hands it back to Cody. Well, you know we're getting Roman versus Cody 3. We don't know exactly when. And as this is happening, I mentioned it before. I mentioned the mana. The Rock returns. The Rock's music hits. The place goes crazy. I'm going crazy. You feel the mana. I'm slapping my arm hurts and whatever, but it's all good. And so you have the Rock walk out, and he's looking at the ring, and he sees Cody, Roman, and Jimmy, and he holds up his fingers, 1, 2, 3, and he cuts his throat like that. So I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. It doesn't look good for Roman and Jimmy, because I guess in the Rock's eyes, they're hanging with the enemy. But then again, you got to look at what Cody, what Solo's done. And Solo, man, he's been fumbling the bag a lot. Technically, he is the tribal chief because he has the Umafawa, but this man can't get a win to save his life. So who knows what The Rock has up his sleeve? Who knows what The Rock is thinking? Who knows what The Rock is feeling? Who knows what The Rock is cooking? We can smell it, but we don't know what it is yet. But with that being said, guys, what did you think of Bad Blood? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you just as excited as I am to see the return of Big Jim Uso and the final boss, The Rock, as well as Raquel Rodriguez? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.